What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. So today, as you can see, I have Blanco sitting up here on the table today, and I wanted to talk a little bit about it because I haven't really talked about it much since I've built it. There's not really many issues with the computer itself, but there's some aesthetics that I want to really talk about, mainly for the simple fact that some of my tubing is like a little weird to me. So I'd like to talk about that a little bit and introduce you guys to some of the additions that I'm going to add on to Blanco in this video. Stay tuned. Okay, so since I've built Blanco, I've noticed a couple things that I really want to go over. Mainly with the fact that I ordered this CapleMod vertical GPU riser bracket kit, and I've been wanting to use it mainly for the simple fact that when I built Blanco, I kind of got the GPU just sitting in there, honestly. And the only thing really holding it up is a couple screws on the back that you cannot see back here, and a piece of PET tubing. That's not cool at all. It's not stable, and I'm surprised I went this long without even doing anything about it. And that's something that I really want to get put in there for the simple fact that I need stability, and I also want to take that graphics card kind of away from the window and give my case a little bit more space to look a little bit more cleaner, to add more stuff into. Second, what I want to do is I want to add a visualizer, a fluid gauge. It's one of those little twisty things or whatever that goes in that shows your fluid moving around to make sure you don't have like any clogs or your flow's not impeded or anything. This one's from Thermaltake, and it's about 20 bucks or so. You have to have your own fittings if you're going to get it, because it doesn't come with fittings. It's really nice. It's a flow indicator is what it's called. It just came to me. But I want to add this in, which means I'm going to have to redo some of my tubing. And speaking of tubing, that's what I want to talk about the most. The tubing in here I got is actually perfectly fine. There's nothing wrong with it. I haven't had any leaks or anything catastrophic happen while I've been having the PC. But I do feel that my tube runs can be a little better. I also want to take away some of the couplings and the fittings that I have connected to some of the runs, because they do look good, but I do feel like my runs could be a tad bit cleaner. So with that said, guys, let me give you a walkthrough of what I want to do. Alright, so here I'm in handheld mode, and I want to show you guys exactly what I plan on doing. So right here, this bin right up in here, that long bin right there, I'm actually going to install the flow indicator right there. I don't know if I want to install it up and down or side to side, so that's going to be something that I'll figure out from the time being. With that said, this vertical GPU riser right here, what that's going to do is that's actually going to sit back, way back behind here. You can't really see it, but it's going to sit back behind there, and it's going to actually push the graphics card away from the window. Another thing that I want to do is I want to take away these little fittings right there. I want to get rid of those fittings and just make it one smooth looping motion. So I'm going to do that. And another thing that I need to do is I need to get rid of that little screwy thing right there. I don't really like that bin. I never did. So I'm going to get rid of that. And also, the main thing that I really want to focus on about this whole deal, the only reason I'm even doing this is because I'm stupid and I forgot to install a drain port. So I gotta drain out this liquid without having a drain port. So this is gonna be pretty fun. I do have a drain port actually, but I did not install it for some reason. I installed it at first and then I took it off, and I never put it back on when I filled everything up. So yeah. So I guess first thing is I'm gonna go ahead and drain the loop, and then I want to show you all one last thing. That's where my GPU has been held at. I mean, not really much holding it on. There's that and this little thin piece of PET tubing. That's all it is, nothing else. So that's it, guys. Let's go ahead and drain this loop, get it done, and I'll report back to you when it's all done. So I got the GPU out and I got half of the loop drained. As you can see, I still got some liquid up in there, but I'll be getting that out soon. But as you can see, I got the GPU out. That was what I was mainly concerned about the most. Sitting down here or whatever, excuse all that mess. and excuse the mess in there. But pretty much what I'm ready to do now is I'm ready to install the cable mod, the GPU bracket. I need to get it in there, and I want the GPU to sit in there and actually have some stability. So let's go ahead and get that installed. Alright, so as you can see, I got the graphics card installed back on the bracket, and everything's sturdy. It looks really good. And I started doing some bends, and I actually got the whole entire loop drained now, thank God. I had some trouble with it because of not having that ball valve fitting or whatever. But with that said, I have done some fittings, and I have done some bend tubing, and as you can see, I got the flow indicator in place. That's exactly where I wanted it. I actually reused some of the tubing or whatever because it was easier to do. I don't have much tubing left, and I wanted to be able to maximize the usage of my tubing that I already have, but I did mess up on a couple bends. So with that said, there's not much tubing that I have left to actually use. I gotta buy some more. Up in here you can see where I changed some stuff up at. Also, I actually have one of the fittings, one of the tube runs going way back up in there, and I swapped out these two 45-degree angle fittings, and I put them up higher, really to where you can't really see them. For me personally, they were more of an eyesore than anything, but they actually came in handy for the type of run that I want to do. So discussing the loop and the order in which I want the loop to actually run, I'm actually going to have it running from the pump up into the GPU, have coming out of the GPU, coming over and around into this fitting, because this is the import on these Alpha Cool water blocks. They're kind of weird. Then I'm gonna have this one coming out, up, over, into this fitting right there. You can see it, focus. Then it's gonna come all the way around the radiator, come out, and it's gonna come out of this fitting right here, and this fitting is gonna run all the way over into that. This is gonna run through the 360mm radiator in the back and come back into this. So it looks like I got it all planned out. I just gotta get the tubes ran and start to fill it back up. Okay, so a little update on what's going on. It's a few days later, and I'm doing this now because I had to order more parts, because the way I want everything set up is turning out to be a little different than what I envisioned. So I've done some custom bends. I've actually changed up this one right here. I've changed that one up, and to me personally, I think I like the way that looks a lot better. And I was having issues with some of the bends going into the radiator, so what I did was I actually went through and ordered some extenders. There are 20mm extenders from Alpha Cool. This is what they are. They just fit right into the G1/4 fitting, or a G1/4 screw-in hole on the radiators, and you can attach any kind of fittings to them as long as it's a male to female, or as long as it's a male going in it. Actually, what I'm thinking about doing is actually completely switching out the case. I want to go with the Leon Lee PCO11 Dynamic because I like the way it looks, and I think that for me personally, it'll fit what I'm trying to do. And I do want to keep the white theme. I think that's it, guys, so stay with me. We'll figure out what we're going to do next.